The storm outside was violent, angry. Wind slammed against the tall glass windows of the Lang Tower, the rain slicing through the sky like needles. Gregory Lang, a billionaire hotel mogul, stood alone in his penthouse apartment, nursing a glass of expensive bourbon and staring at the lightning flashing above the city skyline. He had everything a man could want. Everything except peace. At 62, Gregory had built an empire. Hotels in 30 countries. A private jet. A wine collection worth more than most people's homes. And yet not a night passed where he didn't lie awake, thinking of the fire. The one that stole his wife. And his daughter. 15 years had gone by, and still, every stormy night felt like a cruel reminder. He was about to turn off the lights when... Knock, knock, knock. Firm. Quick. Desperate. He frowned. No one ever came up here unannounced. The elevator was locked. Security was tight. He opened the door. And his whole world stopped. A young woman stood there, soaking wet. Her coat was several sizes too big, patched and fraying at the edges. Her hair clung to her cheeks, and her shoes were gone, just bare feet on the cold marble floor. "Please," she whispered, her voice cracking. "Just one night. I don't want money. I just need somewhere to stay." Gregory blinked. His first instinct was suspicion. Was this some setup? But then she looked up. And he saw her eyes. Those eyes. Hazel. Bright. And familiar. For a moment, Gregory couldn't breathe. "Come in," he said softly. "You're freezing." She hesitated, then nodded. She sat by the fireplace, wrapped in a thick towel. Steam rose from the cup of hot cocoa he made her. She held it with both hands, trembling slightly. "What's your name?" he asked. "Emily." He nearly dropped his drink. That name. That was his daughter's name. But it couldn't be. His Emily had died. The fire had destroyed the entire cabin. The body had never been found, only fragments, DNA assumed. They told him she had no chance. Still, something about this girl felt too real. "How old are you?" 23. His chest tightened. That would be exactly her age. Emily, this Emily, stared at the fire. "I didn't mean to show up here. I saw lights. I've been on the street for weeks. They kicked me out of the shelter. I have nowhere left to go." Gregory was silent, watching her. Every movement. Every word. "Do you have any family?" he finally asked. She looked at him. Something flickered in her eyes. Then she shook her head. "No. Not anymore." Later that night, she was asleep in the guest room. But Gregory couldn't sleep. He went to his study. Opened the bottom drawer. Pulled out the old photo album, one he hadn't touched in over a decade. There it was. A photo of Emily at age 8. Smiling with missing teeth. Holding a tiny silver locket. His hand trembled as he remembered. She always wore that locket. Always. And tonight, under the edge of the girl's coat, he saw it. The exact same locket. The next morning, she was gone. Her towel lay folded on the bed. The mug was in the sink. But she had vanished. Gregory panicked. He called security, nothing. Checked cameras, nothing. It was like she'd never been there at all. But the locket was missing from the photo album. He spent the next 3 days searching. Visited shelters. Drove through alleys. Showed her photo to anyone who would listen. Most just shook their heads. Until he found a boy named Tyler. A street kid, maybe 17. Said he'd seen her. Called her Star. Said she slept near the old train yard sometimes. Gregory went that night. Alone. And there she was, curled up under a thin blanket, shivering beside a pile of crates. "Emily!" he called. She jumped, startled, eyes wide. "Don't be scared. I'm not angry. I just—" He paused. "I need to know the truth." She looked away. "You're mistaken. I'm not who you think I am." Gregory stepped closer. "That locket. Where did you get it?" She swallowed. "It was left with me. At the orphanage. I've had it since I was little." He knelt in front of her. "Emily Lang died in a cabin fire 15 years ago. But no one ever found a body." Silence. "I had nightmares," she whispered. "Flames. Screams. A woman holding me. Telling me to run." Gregory's throat tightened. "My birth certificate is fake. I always wondered. Always felt like someone was missing. Like I didn't belong." He reached into his coat and pulled out a small photograph. "This was you. Age 8. She took it. Hands shaking. Tears welled in her eyes. "I remember that dress," she whispered. "It took 6 weeks of DNA testing to confirm it. But it was her. His daughter. Emily Lang had survived the fire. Somehow, she'd escaped, found by a stranger, dropped at a hospital with no ID, and shuffled into the system. And now, 15 years later, she had returned. Not for money. Not for recognition. Just for warmth. Just for one night. Want more stories like this? Subscribe for more real-life miracles, twists, and second chances.